What's going on, Crimson Tide fans? Chris Daughtery here with the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. Coming up on today's video, we're going to talk a little bit of recruiting news. One of the other top interior offensive linemen has set a date to officially visit Tuscaloosa here coming up just in a couple of months. We'll break that down. Also, CBS Sports dropped a report card for first-year head coaches, or at least for with the new team anyways, and we'll see what they gave Kalen DeBoer this season for his first year being Alabama's head coach. Also, a CBS Sports mock draft that put Jalen Milroe in the first round. We'll also touch on that on today's video. Before we get into all that, though, Michigan Football Report host James Yoder, CEO here at Chat Sports, and one of the best trolls on Twitter right now, and I do mean that with a compliment, by the way. He bet me that this video could not get 400 likes today. Now, that would be the most liked video on a show here in the month of January. So I think we can do it. Let's show that Michigan guy what Alabama fans are all about. Make sure you guys like today's video for me right now. All right, first thing we're going to talk about, number one interior offensive lineman Lamar Brown has set an official date for an official visit here with the University of Alabama coming up on May 30th. Now, we talked about, Darius Gray just the other day on, a couple days ago here. He's also one of the top interior offensive linemen here in this 2026 recruiting class. So, Lamar Brown, Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M seem to be the top three teams trending for him right now. He did take a visit to Tulane last weekend, and, according to what he told on 3, Tulane might play him both ways. Also plays defensive line, in high school right now anyways. Now, if he went to Alabama, I wouldn't assume that he would play two ways, offensive line and defensive line. But see right there, number one player in the state of Louisiana, number one interior offensive lineman in this 2026 recruiting cycle. He does have a visit to LSU planned this weekend as well. Pretty big dude, 6'4", 290 pounds, so definitely like that frame as well for him. We talked about Darius Gray a little bit last week, so I won't go too far into him, but he's not going to be attending Alabama's Junior Day. He's going to be going to Penn State's Junior Day here coming up on February 1st. Coach Cap did a visit with him in person at his high school just last week, so there's a little bit of momentum going on there as well. He's only visited Alabama one time, but he is a basketball player as well. I think that's very notable, especially some of those offensive and defensive lineman guys, some of those bigger guys. It's really nice to know that, they have a lot of athleticism that kind of translates over to football and basketball, other sports as well. So let me know here in the comment section, at the pinned comment actually of today's video, how many offensive linemen do you guys think Alabama will take in this 2026 recruiting cycle? Let me know at the pinned comment of today's video. That ad's probably going to come right here on YouTube. That is totally fine. You can ignore it. Get down there to the comment section and let me know what you guys think. All right, this is what Alabama is looking at in terms of their offensive line next season. You got Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford. I think a lot of those guys, Jaden Roberts as well, those could be NFL guys, after next season. Think Caden Proctor's definitely on that right track to possibly be a first-round pick. He had a very good season this year. We'll see if it, continues on to next year as well. Parker Brailsford also first, second-round guy, definitely, as long as he stays healthy and continues to improve and everything like that. And I said it going into this year. I thought Jaden Roberts could be also an NFL-type guy going into, this season. Obviously, just really wasn't able to stay healthy throughout the season, so that really did hinder him. But luckily, Alabama is getting him back. So I really do think, you're probably going to see at least 3, maybe even 4 guys on the offensive line in this 2026 recruiting class, because you definitely could see some major turnover along the offensive line next season. Next up on today's show, CBS Sports' David Cobb gave his first-year coaching grades and gave Kalen DeBoer a C- for his first year here with the Crimson Tide. And I think, honestly, that's probably a pretty fair grade considering, kind of how this season, transpired, especially towards the end of the season. We'll continue to talk about that here in just a second, though. But today's show is presented by Game Time. You guys can get tickets to the big game now by using Game Time. Sure, they're Might be a little bit expensive, but it's just a great way to be able to go down to New Orleans, have some friends, have some family, go down there, have a great time, and just create memories that can last a lifetime. You can get those tickets by using the Game Time Picks feature that makes getting tickets to see live events even easier. Game Time Picks just filters out all the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to the start of the event. So last minute, if you guys want to go see an Alabama basketball game, maybe on Saturday morning, you get up, decides, hey, I'm going to take the kids to the Senior Bowl. You guys can do that very cheap, very easy on Game Time. They also have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest prices guaranteed. The views from your seat is amazing. You just get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, so you know exactly what your view is going to look like. They also have the best ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Create an account and redeem promo code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS, that's ChatSports, for $20 off your first purchase. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's video. So download Game Time today. They have last-minute tickets at the lowest prices, guaranteed. All right, so this is what David Cobb, his kind of explanation why he gave Kalen DeBoer a C- here in year one. He said there are scenarios in which a 9-3 regular season record would have earned DeBoer a B grade, but the loss to Vanderbilt, falling 24-3 to a bad Oklahoma team, when your college football hopes were at stake, is just inexcusable. Topping it off with an offensively lifeless bowl loss against Michigan made for a very sour ending. Now, I totally agree with all of that, and I definitely agree with the fact that, just because maybe a 3-loss Alabama team, you might still get a B grade, but just the teams that you lost to this year just was not good enough to warrant anything higher than a C- or, anywhere somewhere in that C grade. You lose to Vanderbilt, that's just a game that you cannot lose if you are at the University of Alabama. Whether it's at home, whether it's on the road, it absolutely doesn't matter, because even if you are on the road at Vanderbilt, that's still a home game for Alabama with the, amount of Alabama fans that go to that game if it is in Nashville. That Tennessee game on the road, that's like, yeah, sure. You don't want to lose that game. It's against Tennessee. It's against a rival that we all hate. But look, Tennessee had a very good defense this year. You could kind of maybe give them a little bit of slack there. You could really probably even, take a loss to Georgia as well. You end up winning that game, which makes a couple of these losses just that much more embarrassing. That Oklahoma game was just god-awful on the offensive side of the ball. And honestly, so was that Michigan game. In my opinion, the rain should not matter at all. That team played absolutely terrible against Michigan in the bowl game, and I don't want to hear any excuses about it. They went into that game, and Michigan had a lot of guys opt out in that game. There is no excuse at all for Alabama to lose that game against Michigan either. So in my opinion, I would also give Kalen DeBoer a C- for this first season as Alabama's head coach. But let me know what you guys think here in the comments section. What is your year one grade for Kalen DeBoer? Let me know in the comments section. Type A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you guys think right now. All right, CBS Sports also dropped a first-round mock draft here, which was very interesting. They had Shedeur Sanders going to Las Vegas Raiders number 1. They trade up with the Tennessee Titans to get Shedeur Sanders at number 1. Cam Ward goes number 2 to the Cleveland Browns. And then they have Jalen Milroe going number 3 overall to the New York Giants. Travis Hunter going to the New England Patriots. And then cornerback from Michigan, Will Johnson, also going number 5 overall to the Jags. And, man, in my opinion, with Jalen going number 3 overall, really right now, I just do not think that Jalen Milroe is a first-round draft pick right now. Look, he was just a massive roller coaster of emotions for us Alabama fans, not just this season, but last season as well. Look, the start of this season really wasn't that bad when you go back and look at really how they played, but there was just no real consistent improvement from last year to this year. it really, the season started pretty decent for them. Then you got to that South Carolina game. Sure, they got a good defense. You can maybe, give them some grace there. They ended up winning that game. Tennessee game happened as well. They had a good defense. It's kind of a trend when Jalen Milroe, as Alabama's quarterback, went up against top 25 defenses. That's when the offense really did start to stagger. Then you had a pretty decent game against Missouri. You ran all over LSU. And then the Oklahoma game happened. And we just lost all faith in Jalen Milroe in this team this year because it was do or die time. You absolutely had to go out there and win that game because, like we said a second ago, it was do or die at that point. You had to win that game to be able to make it into the college football playoffs. And you still almost made it, even though you end up losing that game. But really, that game was the deciding factor. Even though, you lost to Tennessee, you lost to Vanderbilt, you beat Oklahoma, you beat Auburn, you definitely make it into the college football playoffs. So, that was just really disappointing. And I just do not see Jalen Milroe going in the first round here. Now, I do think there is a chance that he goes into the NFL Combine, the Senior Bowl, all these different chances to, be interviewed by different teams. And I do think he can go into those interviews and absolutely crush them. Jalen Milroe is a great person. Everybody knows that. He's a team guy. He was voted as the team captain. The athletic traits, they're just a massive upside for him. Speed absolutely kills, especially in the NFL. He's got a good deep ball. It was better last year in 2023 than it was this year. Maybe you can blame a little bit of the, kind of the receivers that you had out there, but maybe not at the end of the day. I don't know. He just was not as accurate this year with that deep ball as he was last year. My hope for Jalen Milroe is that he falls somewhere in the second or third round, and it gives him the chance to develop. And I know you're thinking, Chris, why you want him to fall to the third round or second or third round? Well, if you go into the New York Giants, do you really see a path for Jalen Milroe to be very successful there? I certainly don't. I really hope he falls to a team like the Steelers or the Ravens, somewhere in those later rounds, because I do think that those are system and those are coaches that can really, help him develop. He just cannot play year one. My fear, like I said, is that he's thrown into a system like the Giants, just a failure of an organization right now, and he's just not put in a favorable position. And I would rather have that for Jalen Milroe than, him going to a bad team like the Giants, where he's just probably not going to be very good, because let's just be honest, the Giants right now are just not a very good run franchise. So let me know before we get out of here in the comments section, what round do you guys think Jalen Milroe will get drafted? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section of today's video.